Hi, welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, your pilot into the universe of Chinese. We are going to continue our journey in learning just a little bit more, discovering a little bit more about this amazing language. Last time we talked about 末路狂奔. It's a translation of a movie scene. It's about a couple being chased down and they have to run wild. Run wild means they have to run to the max capacity for their life, right? Run for their life. And even if it's like 末路, it's the end of the road. It's a dead end road, basically. Today we have 狂 again. So this time it's not about wild running behavior. It's not a depiction of the action, but this is a depiction of a man, a person, an object. 狂人日记. Okay, 狂 here have shared that similar concept. It's just changed from adverb to adjective. If it's a person is wild, I mean, we use 狂人 here, actually it means mad. So slightly different tone in English, right? Wild versus mad, different. Chinese, we use the same character. Okay, again, review of the 狂. It comes packed with two symbols. One is the dog image on the left. It's just a visual depiction of the dog, but it's sideways. Like the dog should be ground level, right? 4 limbs on the ground, but now it's like sideways, lifting up. So this is the snout of the dog, the ears of the dog, the body of the dog, probably the 2 legs over there. So that's our abstraction of the dog symbol. And the right side is a plant growing wild. So we have this plant symbol growing above the ground. This is ground, right? A regular plant will only go deep to the roots over here, the middle layer. But now this is going 1 layer deeper. So it's like the root is going deeper than expected, right? Than the norm. So this abnormal, like an extra boosted plant growing is a Chinese observation and capture into the language of acknowledging such phenomenon, right? Like a plant could grow wild, like growing too fast or too big or too wild in a sense, right? It's beyond the normal behavior of the plant. Something is not right about the plant, right? Right by the judgment of being standard or normal. So this plant growing wild transferred to this dog behavior wild. So wild dog behavior, I don't know, attacking people, barking nonstop. I don't exactly know how dogs are observed as behaving wild, but probably that's a more common thing to daily life back then. So language creators captured that of a dog growing wild, pair them together means madness, and eventually this dog wild applied to people go wild, and this extend its scope of wildness from the plant to the dog to the people. Now it carries a little bit of I guess back then there's no medical term of psychoanalysis or psychiatry, right? It's a totally 20th century thing. So back then, way before then, like madness exists in plants, in dogs, as well as in people, right? So this madness was captured by this character, and I guess back then there was no diagnosis, but their behavior, like observed, like that's the kind of madness. But the character here now paired with man. I mean, man doesn't mean a gender thing here. It's just a generic term of humans. And this character went by itself. Instead of writing like sideways, small like that, one is have the full frame, that space to its own. It will have a little bit more stylized like that, almost like English character R, right? So that's Chinese generic term of man. There's no gender implied here. But even if like most visible men in society are men, women are hidden in the household. You're not supposed to see women on the street at all back then. So this man most likely to be, male, because you don't get to see female. All right. So madman paired together means somebody who is sick in mind, I guess. Something at least go not right about this person. And 日记, okay, 日记 is Chinese way of saying diary. And it's our way to say it's daily note. And daily, we use the sun image, which is this space. I mean, originally probably it's a sphere and then a horizontal line. Horizontal line means the ray, the sun rays, the beam, the energy coming out of that sphere. But eventually, being a language, drawing a sphere is harder to do than drawing a box, right? For all of us, I guess. So language creator eventually, not only the creator at the beginning, but eventually the language user would simplify it to more boxy shape. But we all know by then, because everybody before them using it as the sun symbol, even if it's not spherical anymore, it's enough to say, oh, this is a sun. Okay, so this is sun because we see the currents of sun every day, and that's our day time noter, right? So that becomes daily. And yeah, I wonder if daily in English actually related to something of sun behavior. But Chinese do use sun means daily occurrence. Okay, 记. We have the mouse symbol at the bottom, and then we have the tip of the tongue over here. And then there is some cross in the middle. And that's the language indicator to show you, oh, there is something between the mouth and the tongue. So that's the space we're talking about. And the space between mouth and tongue, that's the space where we create sound. We speak through the cavity between the mouth and tongue, right? Think about it, it's true. And then the top two horizontal lines are the sound bits or sound bites coming out of it, the result of it. So the whole thing depicting the mechanism of sound making of human mouth and tongue. So sound making, most likely, being speaking. And actually, Chinese, if it add one horizontal line to the mouth, means sweet speaking, which is melodic. Melodic speaking. Wait, is it melodic? Okay, it's beautifully speaking. So beautifully speaking or pleasantly speaking is Chinese way to mean vocal, singing. It's very interesting connection over there. But without the horizontal line, just the mouth, the tongue making sound, it's speaking as pure as it can, right? As minimalist as it can, the whole mechanism of speaking over there. So in contemporary Chinese, it's simplified into that, the whole thing simplified into that. And the right side keeps the shape. It looks like a reversed S in English, right? Yes, it's a reversed S in English. That's a loose rope somehow along the language creation. This reversed S shape becomes a Chinese way to self-refer. And this self-refer is in the context of differentiating self from others. So if you are accusing yourself, blaming yourself, like feel guilty of yourself, that we are going to use 己, because if you're doing finger pointing, you're pointing at yourself. That's the sense of separation from yourself, from the others. And Why this shape? Some people explain it's the way the Chinese will tie the ropes together, and this loose rope tying posture was borrowed to mean self, right? But I regard it as, okay, yes, there are many loose threads in life, right? So you are the one responsible to tie it all together, to complete your own story. So imagine life's path, right? We all do things, say things, and then it's a network of things. And you are that dot to have all the spokes of threads coming tied toward you, through you. And like almost like everybody is a router, right? Of the traffic in the air, of different things, different dimensions happening in the air. And you are the one that tied knots or tied threads all together. That's through you. That's one entity, and another person will do their own tying. And so this tying of loose knot, loose thread image becomes self-referral. I like it, seeing it that way. So self. So this is kind of a calling of self or self-awareness. And then speaking, this words passing between people through the air, combined together, means taking note. Isn't that a beautiful way to tell people that's how you take note? That's how you listen. That's how you hear the sound bits from another person, right? The words flowing toward you. And you are that rope to tie it in, to retain the information somebody are teaching you or showing you or telling you. I don't know. I guess probably not everybody's words are worth attention. Sorry to say that, but throughout our lifetime, we don't really speak every moment of worthy words to take note to. But when it does happen, it's almost like when you tune in to some lecture full of knowledge and wisdom, you want to take note. You want to take that word, that speaking, that flow of wisdom within you. You want to retain that information. So that's our note taking. Involves self-conscious effort to take in information, take in speaking words. Okay. Daily notes is a Chinese later creation of journal or diary. So diary exactly is that, right? You're taking note. You basically note down what's happening, hopefully on a daily frequency, right? And 狂人日记 simply translated into English is the diary of a madman. And this is a novel, a short novel, written by Lu Xu, probably one of the top authors 100 years ago. I haven't read it before, but it was so influential. It was mentioned many times in my education, in my literacy journey. And yes, I should check it out. But over 100 years ago, somebody even coming up with the title, 狂人日记, Diary of a Madman. Doesn't it pick your interest to read? Like what this madman is singing, is noting down in the journal, what his observation 100 years ago about a society in China. It's quite interesting, right? So that's our today's 狂人日记is the title of one of the most read, most known literature in China, in Chinese language. Okay, 狂人日记. Okay, cash into the currency of thinking by one word a day with Sophie. See you another day.